Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, the drivers of the Special Stage Street Stock Series have been all around the globe. Obviously, they're going to do the majority of their races in America. However, they have ventured to Japan, to Tsukuba, and now, before they return back to America, to collapse the 2 last weeks of their season, they take a stop at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez here in Mexico City. And these street stocks are about to attack the Mexico City Oval. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be one heck of a day. My name is Mac Nelson. I will be your lone voice in the booth here tonight for the race. 2 different races happening here tonight. If you're a fan of the Special Stage Series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Tonight, we're going to be having 2 25-lap heats. They're going to be twin heats. Only difference is full field invert on the second. So it's going to be very, very important for these drivers to get out and away in that heat race number 2. It's oh so important. The second heat race will be paying out 100% championship points as well, so that's something to consider. They head to Concord next week. It's going to be one heck of a show there, but they've got to get past Mexico City and the Hermanos Rodriguez Oval first. We'll take a look at your starting grid here for the race. It's going to be P1, Damian Dania. P2, the boss man, Matt Schlosser. P3 is going to be Adam Boyce-Lard, your championship leader, with Steven Thompson on his outside. P5, Eric Jeffrey. P6, Sam Andrews. P7 going to be Alex Good, with P8 being Brandon Hartline. Taking a look at the 198 street stock there, Damian Dania got himself on the podium last week. He's looking to do some things with his street stock here tonight at the Mexico City Oval. It'll be all up to him as he sits on pole position for this heat race number 1. As we take a look at where exactly we are at, we're at Mexico City, like I said earlier. Track opened November of 1959. It is a 1-mile-long oval with 4 corners and a capacity of 110,000 fans. Although they are virtual here in iRacing, it's still very, very nice to see. So these drivers are going to make their way around the oval. We'll bring up your championship points real quick. Just know it's a very, very close battle between Adam Boyce-Lard and Matt Schlosser. It's a very big gap to P3, Eric Jeffrey, with 981 points. So all eyes on Boyce-Lard and Schlosser for the most part. And as the iRacing official pace car brings it in, Damian Dania's going to take them around the grid, around turn number 4, and we are green here in Mexico City. Damian Dania off to a fantastic start, taking turn number 1 well. He's got to make sure he doesn't wash up coming out of turn number 2. Matt Schlosser right behind him. Schlosser and Boyslard, your 2 championship leaders, are going to share the last 2 steps of the podium. They've got Damian Dania to get past, but more importantly, it's going to be a battle to see who can finish further ahead than the other. That's basically all these drivers are looking out for here tonight. Schlosser must finish above Boyslard, but Boyslard must also finish above Schlosser, and Matt Schlosser going for one heck of a slider down into turn 1. I'm not entirely sure what he thought was going to happen there, but he has gotten beside Damian Dania, actually, so I guess it has kind of worked out for him. He's got to try to create as much distance from the 06 of Boyslard as fast as possible heading into turn number 3. The slip on these street stocks, they're going to be showing all night here tonight. These unbanked corners. Steven Thompson going to have a little bit of a fishtail there coming out of turn number 4. It's going to be really close between Boyslard and Schlosser. Down on the left side of your screen, Boyslard's going to attack that inside in the exact same manner that Schlosser did to Dania a lap before. The only problem is Boyslard got a way better run than Schlosser did on the previous lap. So Boyslard, by the end of the back straight, he's going to be able to get in front of Matt Schlosser. That's going to be the position done and dusted for those 2. So Matt Schlosser in the number 400. Trying to just stay on pace here. He's washing up into turn 1, coming out onto turn number 2 as well. So he's got a little bit to fix if he wants to get going in the right direction. Eric Jeffrey, one of 2 Canadians on the grid. He sits in P4. He just did the fastest lap with a 35.50. So we should watch out for him in this top battle here. Adam Boyslard now going to run just a few thousandths of a second faster. He now claims the purple lap. Coming out of turn number 2 onto the back straight here. You can get a good run, but you have to get a very good exit out of 2. Can't really make up the run. You have to be making the run as you're coming out of the corner with just how short the straightaway is. And at the end of the day, you are kind of driving a boat with these street stocks. I mean, they're very fun to drive. They're easy to handle. But they are boats at the end of the day. They kind of just trudge. They're making their way around lap number 6 right now. It'll be lap number 7 next time by. Damian Dania, however, keeping a very, very strong defense here. That Team Fast-ish driver from Curacao. The number 198 of Damian Dania holding off the pack, so to say, as he heads into turn number 1. He's going to wash up a little bit of commentator's curse. He hasn't been doing that in the other corners, but as soon as we get him on, that's when he decides. That's very unfortunate for the 198 of Damian Dania. He's heading into turn number 3 now. He's going to get a little wobbly. That's going to result in Schlosser doing the same. Boyslard now out front, and if you're Matt Schlosser, this is worst case scenario for these drivers. Matt Schlosser in that number 400, the Interstellar SRV driver. He's going to use that cheeky line into turn 1 to try to get around Damian Dania. It looks like it's going to work. He's got a good run coming out, but Damian Dania is going to have the tow from the car in front, so it's kind of going to even things out. But as long as Matt Schlosser can stay on the inside here, I don't think he'll really lose the position. Now getting a run to Boyslard. Schlosser might just slingshot. Will go on board with your boss man, the number 400 street stock of Matt Schlosser. Very good work there from the 400 of Matt Schlosser. He's unable to really shrink that lead, though, and as we get down 15 laps to go, it's going to be strange seeing Matt Schlosser in this sort of predicament. We don't really see him in it a ton here, but he's trying to pull out everything he can to get past Adam Boyslard, and nothing is seeming to work. So Adam Boyslard, championship leader and driver of the 06, seems to be in the driver's seat here, no pun intended. But it seems like this heat race number 1 might have to fall on him making a mistake rather than Matt Schlosser actually overtaking Adam Boyslard for this to be a victory for the boss man. Damian Daniel now coming back with a little bit of a move of his own. This is for P2, your top 3. Going towards the top of your screen now, Eric Jeffrey close in behind in that 33. His pace has started to fall off a little bit in the halfway stages of this race. Damian Daniel starting to do a little bit of the same, unfortunately. Looks like this lap's not going to be his fastest. He had a little bit of an oopsie in turn 1 and 2. We'll have to see now what he can do to kind of negate that. As for Matt Schlosser, it's going to be a clear mission for him. He has got to get past Adam Boyslard, whether that be playing mind games in his mirror or just using raw pace to overtake him. Something's going to have to give at some point. But for the likes of Adam Boyslard, he chooses to have that not happen. If it were up to him, he'd lead every single lap of every single race and lock up this championship. We've only got 2 weeks left after tonight. That's 4 races for some sort of shift in the championship points. So these races, ever so important for both Schlosser and Boyslard. Schlosser going to have a little bit of a lockup heading into turn 1. Maybe got on the brakes as he was mounting one of those curbs. And his rear end starts to step out a little bit. He gets it under control. Not too much damage done. I don't think the tires are going to be nuked in any way. But now Damian Daniel is using that opportunity, and both Boyslard and Schlosser are going to slide off the track. Damian Daniel is trying to come through. He's going to pin it into turn 1. He's not going to be able to get anything there. 10 laps to go here. Damian Daniel saw his opportunity, and he took it. Now fighting for that lead. He's getting a little sideways on entry. It's a lot better to be a little sideways on entry than on exit. He's going to get it gripped back down. He's going to get on the throttle early. This is going to be a very good run for Damian Daniel. We'll go on board with him and see what he can do this lap. Good work there from Damien Dania, the Curaçaoan. I'm so sorry if that's not how you say the driver in the number 198. I didn't realize until it came out that that was probably not how it is said. But Adam Boyce-Lord still looking strong in the lead here in that 0-6, your championship leader. Matt Schlosser having a little bit of a fall off pace-wise. He's going to have a bit of a stinker, going to be a couple tenths behind both of the two drivers ahead of him on that previous lap. Eric Jeffrey doing a little bit of the same, so maybe the pace falling off for the P3 and P4 driver there. As for the likes of Adam Boyce-Lord and Damien Dania, it is not going to get any easier for either of these drivers. They are both fighting tooth and nail here. 6 laps to go in heat race number 1. Damien Dania going to send it in hard into turn number 3. And coming out of turn number 4, no dice on that one. Mr. Ant said flat track, and yes, sir. Nancy said good luck, guys. Go, Damien. So we've got some love for Damien Dania in the chat. We appreciate you guys interacting, engaging in the content. And speaking of the support, we appreciate Apex Sim Racing for hopping on, being a supporter of the network. Your one-stop shop for all sim racing accessories. Doesn't matter if it's a wheel base, a wheel rim, pedals, monitors, chassis, sound. It does not matter. Apex Sim Racing is your one-stop shop. Use code RacerNexus for 5% off. It supports us here at the network a ton. We thank all you guys for supporting us. Also, a big shout out to Track Cams for Gourmets. I apologize, guys. A little bit of dry throat here. As soon as we get to this intermission, I'm gonna have to go get some water for sure. But big shout out to Track Cams for Gourmets. That's trackcams22.com. They provide all the car and track cameras you see here on the broadcast tonight, as well as all the broadcast in the Racer Nexus network. So once again, big shout out to those guys for hopping on board, supporting the stream, supporting the network. We appreciate all you guys in chat for tuning in. Damien Dania now in the 198. 2 laps to go here in heat race number 1. He's right on the back bumper of Adam Boyce-Lord as they head down the back straight for the penultimate time. Into turn number 3. Damien Dania is going to try to get a little ambitious with it. Going to try to tuck his nose off into the inside. He's going to maybe give a little bit of a bump to the 06. He's not going to. White flag in the air. Final lap for these drivers here in the Special Stage Street Stock Monday Series. Your defending champion, Adam Boyce-Lord, currently defending against Damien Dania, young up-and-coming driver, looking to get some race wins under his belt so early in his career, and he's going to stick the nose in. Turn number 3, coming out of turn number 4, he's going to keep it pinned. He's going to try to force it, but no dice again. Adam Boyce-Lord's going to win heat race number 1. Damien Dania only finishing 1.3 tenths behind. And then Matt Schlosser bringing it home in P3. Eric Jeffrey is going to bring it home in P4. Alex Good in P5. Sam Andrews in P6. Steven Thompson in P7. Brandon Hartline did not take the grid, so only 7 cars raced here tonight. So as we go into a 3-minute warm-up, we're going to step aside and take a little bit of a break. We'll have you back here shortly as we take on the Mexico City Oval for a second time here tonight on the Special Stage Street Stock Monday series.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, if you're just joining us, the drivers of the Special Stage Street Stock Series just went to war for 25 laps around the Hermanos Rodriguez Oval here in Mexico City. But the good news is, you know exactly where you're at. You're on Racer Nexus watching the Special Series, so you know that there's going to be a second heat race upon us. It's going to be an inverted field 100% championship payout. So we'll show you the grid here. Row number 1 is going to be Steven Thompson. Brandon Hartline not taking the grid. Row number 2 is going to be Sam Andrews and Alex Good. Row number 3 is going to be Eric Jeffrey and Matt Schlosser. Row number 4 is going to be Damian Dania and Adam Boy Slard. So it's going to be very, very interesting watching these three drivers in the back. Schlosser, Dania, Boyce Lord, your championship leader. How fast will it take them to get through the grid here at Mexico City? The drivers are coming down the front straight. Green flag, we are racing here at Mexico City. The second time tonight. Sam Andrews going to get one heck of a start there on the green flag drop. He is going to make his way down the track. Steven Thompson trails Damian Dania. Matt Schlosser already overtaking one driver. That's Eric Jeffrey. Now Matt Schlosser trying to work his way on Alex Good. He's sticking it to the inside. He's going to make it work. He's following the 198 of Damian Dania. Alex Good, Sam Andrews, both off the track. So your top three from the race beforehand are now going to be your top four here. If we can get past, if Sam Andrews, or Boyce Lord, I apologize, can get past Sam Andrews, he does that. So the Canadian duo of Sam Andrews and Eric Jeffrey are still in P5 and P6. We'll get the timing tower up for you now so you can see how things are going, how things are moving. Boyce Lord's going to stay in front of all this, and your top three is now going to be... I apologize, timing tower did some crazy things there. Your top three is going to be Matt Schlosser, Damian Dania, and Adam Boyce Lord again. So a quick reminder, just in case you forgot, in the Drivers' Championship, Adam Boyce Lord and Matt Schlosser are neck and neck, and they are fields above the rest of the grid. So Matt Schlosser and Adam Boyce Lord is going to be kind of your main event. It's the little one-on-one that you love to see when it comes to these championship rivalries. Matt Schlosser going for that very aggressive curb hopping into turn one. It's what cost him a few spots in race number one. We'll see if he can nail it this time. Damian Dania trying to stick it in the inside of that 400 straight stock. He's not going to be able to make anything stick here as we head out of turn number 4. Coming down the front straight now, it's going to be Schlosser, preceded by Dania, and then Boyce Lord. Damian Dania, though, he's gotten up inside of Matt Schlosser. He now has his claim. He has staked it. Matt Schlosser going to be able to get a bigger run coming down the back straight, but will it matter? Damian Dania still there. Matt Schlosser has to acknowledge that. He has to stay above him. He has to give him space. And in doing so, Damian Dania is going to catch a good run on that inside line. He's going to have the advantage. Coming down the front straight again, starting lap number 6 here. Maybe one more corner for Dania. They're both going to wash up, however. This is actually going to be more beneficial for Schlosser because now Damian Dania has forfeited the advantage of having that inside position. So now the outside momentum of Matt Schlosser is going to be just a tiny bit better, but still, I mean, in the next corner, Damian Dania, the inside is so strong here. Being able to actually complete a full overtake is going to be very, very challenging. But Matt Schlosser's trying to do it. He's trying to up himself onto the task. He's trying to get it done here around turn number 1. They go again. Advantage going to be to Dania this time, and it might be for the last time. Couple-time broadcast partner, Zach Amsmacker in the chat, supporting the boss man, Matt Schlosser. What's going on, Zach? Hope you're doing well, man. Damian Dania down on the inside of Matt Schlosser. Matt Schlosser still not able to figure anything out when it comes to overtaking this 198. But now Adam Boyce-Lauren is going to occupy Damian Danya's time just a tiny bit. He's going to go all the way down to the inside. Damian Danya had to defend that position from Adam Boyce-Lauren. That's just as big of a threat as Matt Schlosser. So Damian Danya fighting off your two championship leaders. And, you know, I don't mean to exaggerate this, but these two drivers have more points than, like, the top 15 other drivers. Maybe combined, I don't know, but I mean, these guys are worlds ahead of everyone else, and Damian Danya, for the span of like 6 laps there, he defended against both of them in a 1-on-2, essentially. But now, finally, he has made a simple mistake, and that's all it takes for the heavy hitters of Adam Boyce-Lauren and Matt Schlosser. So Damian Danya, definitely not over for him yet, but once these two guys can find some pace, it's going to be very difficult. Damian Danya almost giving the left rear of Matt Schlosser a little bit of a love tap that would not have ended well if we were in any higher power cars than a street stock. But now down into turn number 3 and turn number 4 before we get back onto the front straight. Matt Schlosser, I'm sure his arms are getting tired if he's got a strong direct drive wheel, because he has had that steering wheel cranked on this outside line for basically the entirety of heat race number 2. Starting to slide up a little bit. We're about halfway through. We're getting close to halfway through heat race number 2 here, ladies and gentlemen. So you know the tires are going to start to degrade. They're going to start to lose their grip. We're going to see a little bit slower lap times. More importantly, we're going to see a little bit more technicality involved in maximizing your grip, momentum, and speed in these corners. And one driver who's had a fantastic view of all this is going to be the 33 street stock of Eric Jeffrey. He has gotten a good look at all of this stuff for basically the entirety of this race here tonight, or the second heat race, I should say. So he's getting to learn all of their tendencies. You got to think maybe he might be mounting some sort of a move. He's got a very good run coming out of turn 4. We'll go on board with the Canadian Eric Jeffrey. So as they bring it to the line again for the 14th time, starting lap number 15, Eric Jeffrey got to see a very good bit of Damian Danya's offensive strategy. He is just trying to send it into the inside. Hopefully one of the guys in front of him washes out. That's sort of Damian Danya's strategy right now. As you see, we hop on board with him. Only cammed up driver here tonight, Damian Danya. Looking to make his mark here on the league. Championship dreams are kind of out the window for him, but he can have one heck of a last half of the season. Maybe get himself some momentum heading into whatever is next on this young driver's radar. as I'm sure anything he races, he's going to be just like how he is here in the street stocks. Every single week, he gets just a little bit better. And it starts to become a little bit closer of a gap between him and these two drivers in front of him. That's Boyce Lard and Schlosser. Damian Daniel with a very good run coming into that corner. Unfortunately, had nowhere to go because of Schlosser and Boyce Lard being side by side, so he kind of just had to let it go. But definitely entered the corner the best out of those three drivers right there. He's going to do it again coming into turn number 4. Damian Daniel, as we get ready to wrap up this race, we've only got 8 laps to go next time by. Damian Daniel is starting to get some pace. He's ran faster than both of these two drivers in front of him on 2 separate laps. Now make that 3 separate laps. So Damian Daniel starting to pick up the pace here. And the battling only means that Eric Jeffrey is creeping closer and closer in. Stephen Thompson's not far behind either. A bigger gap to Alex Good, but I mean, if something goes down, Alex Good is right there in the fray as well. Matt Schlosser, I'm gonna try to get around successfully. Damian Daniel's gonna get past Adam Boyce Lard. So as they come around down the back straight, 7 laps to go here. It's anybody's ball game. Damian Daniel back in the driver's seat. Once again, no pun intended. But he is back in the driver's seat once again here. He's got that inside line. A lot of the drivers choosing to part sides with him. Now Eric Jeffrey starting to come up. Maybe be a second lane support cast for Matt Schlosser. Damian Daniel's going to wash up. That's going to be contact between him and Matt Schlosser. Adam Boyce Lard, you know he's not going to waste that opportunity at all. Adam Boyce Lard choosing to sneak it in down on that first lane. He's not going to be able to get it to stick, though, as Eric Jeffrey is now trying for a move. Things are getting wild with these two drivers now. Eric Jeffrey, Adam Boyce Lard. We've got a 2x2. As we head down to the start-finish line, going to be 5 laps to go. Eric Jeffrey has now inserted himself into the conversations here. Stephen Thompson trying to do the curb hop. He is going to hit the wall. That's probably going to be a little bit of wheel damage for Stephen Thompson. Yeah, you can see he is not moving as fast as those other street stocks. So that's more than likely going to be him out of the picture. Now Matt Schlosser taking the high line out of turn number 4 down the front straight. He's going to try to get as much momentum as he possibly can. Now 4 laps to go. That's going to be very, very detrimental for him as Adam Boyce Lard's going to squeeze past on what maybe Matt Schlosser thought was an unexpected overtake attempt. I mean, the move didn't really look pre-orchestrated. It didn't look set up. Adam Boyce Lard kind of just went for it. And now Matt Schlosser sitting in P3 as opposed to P2. And more importantly, one of those drivers ahead of him is his championship rival in Adam Boyce Lard. So like I said, major championship implications here tonight at Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City. 3 laps to go until we're done racing on the night. The first heat race was a banger. Second one is shaping up to be maybe even a little bit more of a banger here as we've got a 4-car fight. A little bit of weaving going on. Matt Schlosser with the move of the century. As Damian Daniel and Adam Boyce Lard were beating and banging, they were fighting heading into turn number 1. And Matt Schlosser saw his opportunity, overtook both of them, and now he sits in P1 on the inside. He's got a way better line than Daniel. Daniel gonna try a switchback. That's going to get him on the inside. So very well done by Dania. Very good racecraft on the side of the driver from Curacao. Team Fast-ish in the 198. Down the back straight for the final time here tonight. Heat race number 2. It's going to be real close between Damian Dania and Matt Schlosser. Matt Schlosser going to try a switchback. He did dip his left rear into the grass, and it's going to show as he is off the track. Damian Dania's going to get the win. More importantly, Boyce Lord is going to finish ahead of Matt Schlosser, and so is Eric Jeffrey. So Matt Schlosser went from 1st to 4th in the span of 3 corners. An absolute nightmare for the championship dreams of Matt Schlosser. Not only did he finish below Adam Boyce Lord, but he finished 2 positions below him when he was leading him 3 corners prior. And we gotta go take a look at that Matt Schlosser move before we get into the interviews. I mean, just an incredible move while the other 2 were fighting. Wow, how cool was that? And while we've got him on the screen, our first interview of the night gonna go to the boss man, Matt Schlosser. Matt, that was an incredible move towards the end of the race. What happened? How did it fall apart so quickly after that?
They had better tire management, I think, and I just could not keep pace with Damian. He was able to creep to my inside, and then on the last lap, we ran side by side for like 12 laps, and he beat me to the line every single time. And I was like, my tires are the worst they've been all day, so I'm not going to beat him by just trying to hang on his outside. I tried to cross him up, maybe catch him off guard, but he's a really smart driver and covered the bottom. And then I just flew off into the grass and blew 2 more spots. But that was maybe the most fun I've had racing all season. That was freaking awesome. Shout out to all those guys. And I got into the back of Adam going into turn 1 when I made that kind of bonsai move. So I apologize to him. But a few laps to go, I had to kind of send it there. But yeah, it was awesome. I just came up a little short from where I probably could have been.
Yeah, well, next week you head to one of the weirdest, I guess, ovals or, circle racing tracks on the iRacing official service. It's Concord. What are your thoughts going into that track, and, where do you expect to finish there?
I'm excited for Concord. It's a unique one for sure. It's kind of, a little triangle type track, but I hope to do well. I feel like I've run a lot of laps there, and I've got a nice rhythm there. So hopefully I can maybe get a win or maybe 2, but obviously these guys are quite good, so it'll be a challenge, whatever it is.
Yeah, of course, it's always going to be a tough one. And before we let you get out of here, is there anybody you would like to thank or shout out for the performance here tonight?
Yeah, thanks to everyone who came out and raced. Shout out to yourself for the broadcast as always, and to Racer Nexus. And congrats to Damian and Adam on their wins tonight. And yeah, that's it.
Well, I appreciate you, Matt. We thank you for the kind words and hope to see you back up here next week at Concord.
All right. Thank you, sir.
And now bringing in our heat race number 1 winner here tonight, Adam Boyce Lord. Adam, it's been a wonderful night for you when it comes to your championship aspirations, finishing above Matt Schlosser in both of the races here tonight. How's that feel heading into Concord?
It's Good for sure. Nice to put a little buffer on. I know last week at Tsukuba I had some struggles, but nice to get a win here in the first heat, and then actually surprisingly get second here in the main. So feels good.
Yeah, well, heading to Concord next week, is the strategy going to be the same? Is that somewhere you're confident at, or is it going to be something you're kind of, gulping at?
I like that track a lot in the street stocks. It's one of my favorites actually. So feel pretty good about it. I think it's going to be making sure you stay off the right rear. It's a very, very hard track on the tires. So we'll see how it plays out, and I think we'll see how it plays out with lap traffic too. Be interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah, well, you had a good night here tonight on the road to chasing that championship. But before we let you get out of here, is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for the performance here?
Yeah, thanks to Matt and everyone running the show here. Thanks to you guys for running the broadcast. Thanks to everyone watching. And yeah, thanks to everyone out on track. It was especially the feature there was quite a battle. It was a ton of fun. So glad to be out there on track with everyone.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate the kind words over here at Racer Nexus. We're going to let you get out of here, but that is going to be your more than likely championship leader after tonight with only 2 weeks left, Adam Boyce-Lard. And now wrapping it up with heat race number 2 winner, Damian Dania. Damian, how you doing?
I'm good. That was a lot of fun. It was a blast.
Yeah, well, you had good pace in both races. Heat 2, you kind of had to go with what seemed like a 1v2 almost. It seemed like Boyce-Lard and Schlosser were kind of just maybe trying to team up to get by you, even though they are championship rivals. So how did it feel being able to defend against both of them, who are very, very out ahead in the championship compared to the rest of the grid?
Pretty crazy, because I had this is my first oval race in a while, and I'm a road course racer, so I don't really know what I'm doing. But yeah, I sort of pulled the tricks out of the book of never give the car behind you the inside line on exit, because if I would do that, they would never pass me. Especially that probably got me the race winning on the final lap, because I saw Matt would come to the inside, and I just knew I had to pin it to the inside, just try to hold it in. I think he pushed it a little bit too hard and went off anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, well, heading to Concord next week, it's another one of those quirky kind of oval tracks, even though it's more of a triangle. Is that something that you look forward to, or is it going to be a track that maybe you're not so excited for?
Oh, that's my least favorite track on iRacing, but I'll definitely show up because I've been having a lot of fun in this series, so I'm sure I'll figure something out. I just got to get the track down. I never really figured it out in the few laps I've driven around it, so yeah.
Yeah, well, it's been a very fun time here watching you race. Before we let you get out of here, is there anybody you'd like to shout out for the win here tonight?
Yeah, my mom just sent me a message. I know she really enjoyed that race, so that's cool. I think my dad is still watching as well. He might have fallen asleep. So it's yeah, both Adam and Matt, we all had a great clean race. So I really appreciate them for keeping it clean, even if I did anything stupid at any points. But yeah, that's all I got right now, to be honest.
Well, Damian Dania, it's been a pleasure watching you here tonight, and hope to see you back at Concord. And best of luck in the rest of the season.
Yep, I'll do my best. See ya.
And that is going to do it for us here tonight, folks. It's been one heck of a show. We'll go over your results real quick here. Heat race number 1 saw Boyce-Lard taking it, with Dania Schlosser behind on the podium. Jeffrey Good, Andrews, Thompson will be your finishing top 7 there. And in the feature, the heat race number 2, just got done talking to the winner from Curacao, Damian Dania, along with Adam Boyce-Lard. Eric Jeffrey got himself on the podium. Matt Schlosser, unfortunately, down into P4. Stephen Thompson, P5. Alex Good and Samuel Andrews round out the back of the grid. It's been one heck of a show here at Mexico City. Next week, we'll be at Concord. If you're interested in watching any of the other special stage series races, they got 4 series a week. Next one will be the FIA Cross Car series on Thursday. That one called by my boss man, Rob Campbell. Big shout out to Big Rob. Friday will be the IndyCar series. I will be there. I unfortunately am bad and don't know what track they will be at. So that's bad on me. Bad on me. And then Sunday you can catch the GT4 series. Just called that last night. It was a banger. Big shout out to Apex Sim Racing. Use code RacerNexus for 5% off any of their sim racing accessories you want to get your hands on. Big shout out to Track Cams for Gourmets. That's trackcams22.com, providing all the car and track cameras you see here and across all of Racer Nexus. Guys, we'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next week.